U.S. spies say the Hunter Biden email controversy shows how exploitable and grotesquely vulnerable Trump and Giuliani are to Russian intelligence. The Babylon Bee tweet didn't help either. I just love that the entire Trump administration and 100% of their allies have spent the last 2 years digging furiously in pursuit of some kind of scandalous dirt on Joe Biden, and this is what they drop in October, lol. So you mean to tell me? 1. Hunter Biden dropped off his laptop, with a Beau Biden Foundation sticker, containing sensitive emails to a podunk repair shop. Hunter promptly forgets about the laptop with sensitive and incriminating emails. Did he get a new laptop? 3. Shop owner decides to peruse Hunter's likely 1,000s of emails and finds a smoking gun email basically saying Burisma is using his family relationship to buy influence. Shop owner then turns over the information to the FBI and Rudy Giuliani. If you believe these things happened, you deserve Trump. Trump is desperate to win the election. If you offered him a button to push that would guarantee his re-election at the expense of 100 million American lives, he would hit it faster than he would Ivanka. r/conservative or the bots in that sub are just eating this shit up. How often do they need to be fooled before they realize most of it just isn't true? It is the same game plan from 2016, colluding with Russia to steal some emails and amplify the BS through conservative channels, social media bots or astroturf troll farms. They are not being exploited, they are openly colluding. I have noticed many accounts on Reddit trying to amplify the disinformation were created less than a year ago, post in a few local or hobby subreddits to appear legitimate and then only comment on political things. If by that you mean willing partner and eager co-conspirator, then yes. Glenn Carl, a former CIA covert operative who specialized in turning Russian spies, told Business Insider that in addition to Giuliani's access to Trump, his motivations and personality traits also make him an attractive target for Russian intelligence. No matter what the motivation is, a foreign intelligence service can usually exploit it, Carl said. In this case, it's very straightforward. Giuliani is hunting for information that he thinks will help Trump and harm Biden. And then you look at the person's psychological makeup. Are they gullible? Can they be duped? Are they motivated to take chances? In Giuliani's case, the answer to all those questions is a glaring yes. Giuliani, Carl added, has been stumbling around in Ukraine, which is Russian turf from an intelligence perspective. In every way, Trump and Giuliani are grotesquely vulnerable, exploitable targets for Russian intelligence. And any foreign intelligence service would be derelict if they did not try to exploit this. * Only the best idiots. Face with raised eyebrow man face palming medium skin tone. The only chance of lock him up that Trump and Giuliani are going to hear are when they're being escorted to prison themselves. Exploitable and grotesquely vulnerable. That sure is a strange way to spell jaw-droppingly stupid. Admittedly off topic, but this accompanying photograph of Giuliani and Trump looks like it could be a publicity still for a movie like Dumb and Dumber with the main characters being political imbeciles. Conservatives, the story is the Biden family is neck-deep in corruption. The real story, Joe Biden is a loving and supportive father who, like millions of Americans, loves someone who struggles with addiction. And Trump and his inner circle are the Elmer Fudd to Putin's Bugs Bunny. Might it also illustrate a certain moral vacuum at the New York Post? Not that that'd be news. Man, don't tell that to r/conservative because they have several totally reliable news sources that say otherwise, and conveniently you can also buy natural male enhancement on these extremely respectable and accurate sites. I fear for Hunter Biden's mental health. Nobody seems to be considering the impact this must be having on him. He's a person for God's sake. So what's the ate the onion version of falling for the Babylon Bee? I would like to put forth my nomination stung by the bee if there isn't something already. Then maybe he shouldn't have a role in the administration or be an advisor to the president or be tasked with diplomatic appointments or represent the US in summits or with other heads of state. Good thing we don't currently have the president's kids doing any of those things currently. Ain't that right, Republicans? Grotesque is an apt word for these two. Where did this narrative that they're just gullible and useful idiots come from? They clearly have been working together and plotting for years. They are clearly coordinating on purpose. I'm not sure why the media insists on remaining so naive about these highly sophisticated and highly corrupt parties conspiring together. Vulnerable. You mean complicit? I genuinely think I could just make a fake Twitter and DM them something. It's obvious Trump has been planning on his October surprise ever since he sent Giuliani to Ukraine, to try and recreate the Comey briefings that handed him the election. But it's failed. It's been identified as Russian spycraft from the very start. So not only has their weapon against Biden not worked, it shit the bed and is now a liability. What I find most interesting in all of this is how utterly incompetent Trump seems to be at all of this. His need to endlessly pimp everything his seedy operation does as something unparalleled in human existence is just pathetic at this point. He doesn't realize he's hurting himself because his ego won't allow him to see it. This is how you take him down. Personally, I hope he's detained for questioning right after Biden's inauguration, if he even shows up, which I fully expect him not to. Giuliani looking like Uncle Fester. In 2016, according to an indictment from the special counsel Robert Mueller, the Russians took time to establish fake social media accounts, build up a following, and use that to sow discord within the American public. The GRU, Russia's military intelligence agency, also created the fake entities Guccifer 2.0 and DC Leaks to dump thousands of emails via WikiLeaks that Russian hackers had stolen when they breached the Democratic National Committee during the 2016 campaign. But in the last 4 years, the Russians have learned they don't have to put that much time and effort into this because we're doing a lot of their work for them, Hall said. Whether it's the New York Post or Fox News or whatever, they know all they have to do is get a bit of weird information out there and it will just go viral and end up in the right-wing media and on the president's Twitter feed. They want to protect their boy in the White House because Trump's policies have been strategically fantastic for Russia, Carl said. He alienated the United States from NATO and turned a blind eye to Russian influence in Crimea. His actions in the Middle East, especially in Syria and Libya, helped Russia gain a significant presence in the region for the first time in 48 years. Important lessons. Right-wing users will latch onto disinformation readily. Why? Because they don't seem to worry about what is likely, they seem to look for any plausible study and go with their gut over whether it is likely. The Kurds, who had probably the most progressive and egalitarian society in the Middle East, https://en. Wikipedia, org/wiki/autonomous_administration_of_north_and_east_Syria, and played the main role in defeating ISIS on the ground, got fucked by Trump and Russia loves it. Oh, and the 60 million Americans who desperately want to believe Russian intelligence over their own. Edit. There's even a few playing along here. No, it's the entire Republican Party. Remember this? https://www. Rolling Stone. com/politics/politicsnews/ Republicans using Putin talking points defend Trump 916895/ https://www. Rolling Stone. com/politics/politicsnews/ Republicans using Putin talking points defend Trump 916895/. For years now, Russia has sought to frame Ukraine for its own actions interfering with the 2016 presidential election, the New York Times reported, citing 3 American officials. And, despite being briefed on Russia's efforts, some in Congress are pushing these conspiracy theories, as seen in Republicans' questions and speeches during the impeachment hearings. The White House's former top Russia advisor, Fiona Hill, backed up the intelligence community's assertion in her impeachment testimony on Thursday, saying, "Some of you on this committee appear to believe that Russia and its security services did not conduct a campaign against our country and that perhaps Ukraine did. This is a fictional narrative perpetrated and propagated by the Russian security services themselves. The Republican Party and American right-wing media have been actively assisting Russian intel in their attacks on our democracy.